Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the antenna for your Traxxas 27mhz receiver. Now this is one of those things that a lot of people realize it's not that hard to replace. And one thing that everyone runs into, especially with running an RC, is that the antenna is eventually going to be pinched, ground away, cut short by one manner or another, just because, you know what, people like to be rough with their RCs. So the first thing that you're going to do is easily pull out the crystal. Then you're going to look on the side. You'll see that there's this little, well, slab you can say. Push that in and the whole receiver will come apart. Next you're going to pull out the circuit board. After that you're going to follow the antenna and you'll see that the antenna itself actually goes through the circuit board. So go ahead and pull the antenna through the circuit board. After that is done, you'll notice that it hooks up to this one little part right there on the corner. Now all you have to do is get your soldering gun, hold this in a way where you're not going to burn yourself, but put the end of the soldering iron onto that little part and melt it, pull it off. Then you're done. Now to replace it. You really have a wide selection of wires to choose from to replace the antenna wire, so I just go ahead and I choose this antenna wire that I got off my old stereo. 22 gauge is the best way to go. Cut it to the length that you need, and then you're going to get some wire strippers and you're going to strip the very tip of it. Not too much, just the tip. And that's it. Now we're going to go ahead and put some solder on the tip of this. You don't want to put a lot of solder on there, and just enough for it to just cover the tip, and that's all you really need to do. All that's left is soldering it back onto the circuit board, so just go ahead and be very gentle about this. Melt all the solder that's on the board and just stick the wire into it, and that's it. I've got a couple of tips for you before you declare yourself done. Make sure that it's a really strong connection, that it's not going to come off easily, and you want the wire pointed at an angle going towards the hole. That way the wire can lay flat and this whole thing can sit back into the receiver box cover. Otherwise it's just not going to fit properly. But once you do have the connection, go ahead and get the tip of the antenna and feed it right back through that hole in the circuit board and pull it all the way down. When you get to the end, just be careful. You don't want to mess up the wire or anything, and make sure that it lies flat on the side. Just like that. Then you just have to put all of it back together. Just go ahead and line up all the connections with the holes that are in the top of the receiver box. You'll see there's a little groove on the side for the antenna to go through, and then you just go ahead and snap on the bottom. And there's really only one way to put this thing together. There's one giant notch on one side and then there's two small notches on the other. Once those are completely flush, then you're done. Just go ahead and put the crystal back in and put this back into your RC. Hope this video helped you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But with this method, you can make as long of an antenna as you need.